problem, and that was that the energy drinks and pre-workout that I took when I went to the gym tasted not good. So that was my problem, and I tried to look around, buy some options for a fair price, and I couldn't find that. So what ended up happening was I made the solution. And so I did that for myself because I had this problem. And what ended up happening was people at my gym, my friends, started trying it. So there's more people. And they started liking it. And so I started actually producing it and selling it. So I did that. It was small, it was me making pre-workout for myself. People were buying, and me solving this problem that people had. Because when you have a pain point, and you have a solution to that pain point, people want to go to that. So what I ended up doing was I actually ended up growing it because, I saw the opportunity, and it just grew from there, sort of. And then I had some issues with whether we want it to stay this small thing or whether I want to grow, and that kind of pulled me and my partner apart, but it's okay, because, I don't know. Anyways, how'd we go from tiny little thing where we're not even selling to shipping across the country and turning good profit? Well, here's how. We started with this small company, and it wasn't actually a company because it wasn't actually a company. But then what I ended up doing, that's stupid. That's a dumb analogy. It's slow. If I were to draw a graph, it would look like this. Boop, boop. This would be time, because time's usually the dependent domain variable. And our y-axis will be money. So, basically, I was just thinking about how if I were to get a job, it would go like this. It would be kind of linear, but then it would kind of go up, right? This is time. This is money. And the thing about that is it was never really about that. It was more about like the idea of freedom and stuff like that. So what I ended up concluding, I don't know. Anyways, so this is a job, like a 9 to 5, just a regular thing. You got your Social Security, whatever, benefits and stuff. This would be, owning a business, where if it succeeds, it's going to be very, 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 very nothing at the very beginning. You'll go quite some time with no return. But then if it takes off, it becomes exponential, and maybe it's a little more like that. And if we're being honest, it's going to be more like this, where it's like whoop, 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 woo, where you have your successes and your failures and whatever. Why did I just go off on that? I don't remember. I just felt like saying that. The way that I did it was obsession. I've always had a sort of obsession with something, someone, just something to have my mind on. And if I were to write internal struggles, my handwriting is like the worst, but it's fine. Fears, doubts, demons. You take these, everyone has like mental health issues. Anxiety. anxiety was a big one for me. Self-hatred, too. You take this, and when you are working on this obsession or thinking about this obsession, you're not thinking about this. And it's very bad. It's very unhealthy, and I would not recommend it. But it is what happened to me, and so, I don't know, I just compulsively formed this obsession, and I went taking these and running to here with it. And so, while I was working on Amped Up, I didn't feel any of this. I was in this. I was in this, and I was alive. Yeah, so work was fun. Work was my escape. Work was the thing that I did to receive, like, just the good things in my life. Because I don't play video games. I guess I don't really play sports. I don't know. I read, but sometimes. What am I saying? Work was the thing that I went to escape all my problems. Work was the thing that took away my anxiety, but also gave me anxiety. But when I worked, when I was in that, I guess you can call it a flow state, or locked in, or whatever you call it, it's a very beautiful thing. It's very amazing. That you take something like that, and you combine it with obsession. So you take obsession, you take true love, you take actual passion. Because I genuinely, when I was making that pre-workout, it's awesome. Like, I don't know, I just love the feeling of making pre-workout. I don't know, you're just making delicious flavors. And, the best part is the research and development. That is amazing. Research, R&D is one of R and D. I can't draw an and symbol, so I'm just going to write and, but picture that as an and symbol. Research and development, Amped Up is a lot of research and development. And when you have like food and like stuff like that, research and development is huge. Like, there's a story about a man. This man. So if you take a pie chart of a medical company, a lot of it goes to development stuff. So we'll say this is R and D, and this is something else, everything else. This is an exaggeration, but R&D takes up a huge percentage of medical businesses, like pharmaceutical businesses, pharmaceutical stuff. Now, there was this man that saw all this, how it was eating into the profits, and decided, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of the R&D. Business. He destroyed the R&D. He destroyed any research in this pharmaceutical company, and they kept making the same product. And it was good in the short term. If we think about it, he made money in the short term, owning all these pharmaceutical companies, destroying their R&D department, cutting all the costs. Profit was boom, boom, boom. But think about the other companies. The other pharmaceutical companies, they still have their R&D, so they would make a product. This is product. And then this guy, he would also make a product, but because he's not doing research and development, this product would become outdated. And they'd make a new product, better product, and everyone would buy this. And this would become useless. So the guy, it did not end well for him to destroy his development. And that's why, also, that's the best part of it, tinkering around, having fun with the chemistry, I just love that. And of course we make sure it's all safe and, test it, whatever. But it's just so fun to like create stuff. I just love making things. I built a go-kart once. I blacksmith and I just do I just build random stuff because I love creating things. A big thing about growing Amped Up was, how like supplements, there's so many supplements. There's protein, there's creatine, vitamins, all sorts of stuff. There's lots of protein. There's pills, energy drinks. There's different types of like lifting straps. There's different sorts of things. There's many different areas that we can there's energy drinks. That's a big one. I almost fell down that. Energy drinks. And then there's pre-workout. This right here is what we started with. Pre-workout is what we did. Pre-workout is the thing that made us the money. And, I had this urge to like branch out into these other departments, but this right here wasn't good enough. This was still faulty. The thing that made us what we are was still not perfect. And so, I don't know, it's a balance. But what I ended up doing was I decided to screw all of this in the beginning and just focus on what you know. This is the big thing. Pre-workout is it. If I take my energy, if all the Amped Up employees spread out their energy in going into all of these other markets and like, spending time trying to perfect this stuff, this falters. So we just honed in all of our energy, time, and money, and there's a thing. Focus times energy divided by time. So, and then you get work. So, if we took our time and put that into other markets, other avenues of stuff, away from pre-workout, we took our energy and we put that into something else, because the energy goes into whatever, and then our focus, we can do the same thing. The focus is key. I actually think focus is more important than time, because the amount of like locked in you are equals the amount of things. Because like if you are working and it's like one thing, say this is the task you have to get done. Say that would take you an hour while just like working. If you are completely laser focused, like you've got, I like to put in earplugs and like just lock myself in my room, put my phone out and just completely focus on a task. I could get it done 20 minutes or less than 20 minutes. So that's how that works, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's important to be able to like think about that. And so what we ended up doing is we focused on what we do best. We put all our energy into our strengths before reaching out into other places. And now that we're still perfecting the formula for Amped Up. You know, we're always trying to get a better flavor pre-workout. You know, this will always be the start and probably our best product. But we'll see, because right now we're branching out. Little skip ahead. Right now we're branching out into protein, and we are branching out into flavored creatine. Okay, so that's my drawing of what we're doing. I guess we've always had merch, but we drop shipped the merch, so it literally took zero energy, zero time, and it didn't really distract us from the focus. So I thought I was fine with having, allowing the company to have merch. You know, that merch didn't sell. Nobody buys merch. I mean, this is a good quality hat. I bought this, it held up well. I mean, it's a good hat. You should buy it. Some important things that we did were, after we started selling, word of mouth was a thing. What I will say is social media, chances are you're watching this on the TikTok. I tried it. I tried doing the social media. Wait, why'd I write social media for twice? I tried doing stuff with the, branching out, and it didn't work. I mean, it kind of worked. It got our name sort of out there at my school, but other than that, didn't really work. We're gonna try again to make better organic content, because, if you just look at the Amped Up TikTok, you'll see. Going from social media to people, we did an affiliate program. So it actually looks like this, and then people went like that, and then people went like this. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't a pyramid scheme. The way it actually worked was, I don't know, I guess I can explain what an affiliate program is. So a salesperson, this is Billy Bob Joe. Billy Bob Joe has money. I'll make it green because I want to. Billy Bob Joe wants to buy pre-workout from Amped Up. He goes to me. Draw myself a little tiny because I'm pretty short. And he would give me money. I'd give him a pre-workout. It would look like this. Because we have bags. We used to have containers that were like tubs. But we realized that for shipping purposes and costs and like user, because like it's just easier to scoop it out of a bag than a tub, because then you're like, grr. And also the stickers stick. Because we redid the formula and there's a lot more of it, the tubs don't actually fit the amount of pre-workout we need, and we'd end up selling like 3 tubs. Or we could just buy bigger tubs. It was just cheaper. It made more sense to just switch to these black bags. Let me go grab one, actually. Okay. This is the new containers. It's sealed at the top, and cheaper to ship, better for you. We'll give you 2 scoops. You just, it's not that hard to use. Just rip the top off, and then it's basically a Ziploc, but better and black. That's my little explanation of why we switched to bags. But I was talking about shipping. I was talking about how Billy Bob Joe wants to buy Pre. Now, Billy Bob Joe maybe doesn't know about Amped Up. Billy Bob Joe might know me. Or Billy Bob Joe. What happens if Billy Bob Joe doesn't know me? Then how does Billy Bob Joe find out about this great, amazing product? Well, Billy Bob Joe might find out through social media. But as I said before, our social media wasn't taken very seriously, and for good reason. If you want to make a good social media, you actually have to put time and effort into it. You can't just film yourself, blah, 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 So this is not how Billy Bob Joe would find out about me. Billy Bob Joe could find out from me talking to him. I could reach out to him. Hey, Billy Bob Joe, I'm Troy Ryan. Have you ever heard of Amped Up Pre-Workout? Do you ever feel tired and blah, 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 and gym, blah, 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 strength, blah, 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 immune system, blah, 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 vitamins, blah, blah, blah? Well, anyways, he could do that, but what if he doesn't? Then, there's another way. Billy Bob Joe could find out from Sam. Okay. How could he find out through me? Through this guy. Well, this guy is an affiliate. And so what would end up happening is I would give this guy X amount of he'd basically be a salesperson. He'd take X amount of pre-workout. He'd have the containers. He'd take the containers, and he'd find people like Billy Bob Joe or this random guy right here on the street. What the heck? And he would give this guy Pre. He would give him the money, and then Billy Bob Joe would give me the money. No, not Billy Bob Joe. Sam would give me the money. But Sam would take a small percentage of that money. That's just how salespeople work. And then I would get the money. Or, not me. Amped Up would get the money. And that's how it would work. That's how Amped Up affiliate program works. You can actually become an affiliate if you want to make some money and get some sales experience. Reach out, or you can go to the website. Just looked at aspartame. Holy cow, what is this? What's aspartame? Aspartame is an ingredient. It is a false sugar. I will make a video breaking down aspartame and fake sugar eventually. It's a fake sugar, and it's carcinogenic. It causes cancer, according to some studies. And honestly, I believe it. There's some health risks, very high health risks with aspartame, and aspartame was a sweetener that we used in our pre-workout because it was just so much cheaper than sugar. However, it causes cancer, and I'm not trying to give people cancer, even though almost every single like candy or like a bunch of like anything that says sugar-free, like Diet Coke, is probably having that fake sugar. So it's not illegal in America. It's perfectly okay, but we just decided that we don't like doing that. We're about health. We're about creating the greatest pre-workout that we can create. And so, how do we become an LLC? Once we had enough capital, actually, before we had enough capital, we kind of realized, I'm not trying to get sued. I'm not trying to get my dad's house taken as collateral. Taken by government. Because here's the thing. Pre-workout is something you ingest, not congest. Congest is like your nasal and nasal sinus cavity. Congest is like something you eat or drink or consume orally. Now, pre-workout is a powder. Pre-workout is it's not a food, it's a supplement, but it still goes into your body. So, if someone were to take this supplement, they're like eating or drinking the pre-workout. We'll say it's fruit punch flavor, because actually, my opinion, fruit punch is the second best flavor. Strawberry lemonade will forever be the best because it was the first I ever made, and that's just it. First ever amped up, so this is amped. He drinks it, but let's say he's a moron. He finished drinking it, and then he takes the entire tub and he puts it in a big thing. And then he drinks the entire tub and he overdoses on caffeine and dies. That would be bad for amped up. However, what we've done, what any company does, is we create a limited liability company. An LLC. LLC. So, therefore, we had to make it. So, we became an official company who actually has to pay taxes and whatever. That was fun to do. Anyways, so, now that we have an LLC, if someone were to die, or like get sick, or for some reason want to sue us, all they could take is what's within the LLC. They would be suing Amped Up LLC. And they would not be suing me personally. Now, the thing that would come into that is if I were to breach the contract that I made with this person. So basically, whenever you buy something from anyone, you're basically signing a contract. It says somewhere on some website or on, when you buy something from someone, you're basically saying, I agree to the terms and conditions when I bought this. And sometimes they make you sign it. It depends on the product. But with a product like this, whenever you buy a food, you basically say, this food is food. And if this food is the food that they said the food was, if I die from some allergic reaction, I shouldn't sue the peanut butter company, So let's say, however, that breaks if I start neglecting, which we don't. We are amazing. And we don't neglect anything. But basically, if I were to neglect the contract, if I were to neglect the product as a worker, as a owner and CEO, if I were to neglect or purposely harm or do anything of that sort, contract gets breached and I am the target of assault. Which is exactly why we built the LLC. The LLC basically says, if I don't do anything wrong as in like neglect or immoral, I guess not immoral, but like if I don't do something to breach the contract, then the LLC takes all the hits. And that is what is good about an LLC. It protects yourself, and especially if you're in any type of, I would recommend you get an LLC if you are owning a company that has anything to do with consuming anything. If the customer consumes, you should get insurance. Oh, that's the other thing we have. We have insurance. Because I'm not trying to have everything collapse. Anyways, what else was I going to say? Lots of things. Amped Up pre-workout. Supplements, growth. I didn't really go over that much. I kind of just told what I said. You know what? I think I gotta like give some lessons here. So what have we done? We went from a little tiny thing to a bigger thing by spreading the word, telling people. And then we went to making a website, so it's even bigger. And then we created an affiliate program so people knew about it. And then we started reaching out to content creators and they started making content. That didn't really work out, but we're going to try it again. We're going to start making organic content. And then once we have enough funds, we'll go to Amazon and sell on Amazon. And then once we have enough profit, we'll go to your retail stores near you and grow and grow. Now, do I expect this to happen? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it won't work. Either way, let me just draw this diagram that I've created. Actually, it's not a diagram. I'll just write. If failure occurs, I learn a flippity crap ton. If I fail, the amount of lessons that I've already learned are enough to fill up an entire journal. If I succeed, I learn a crap ton. And I'm rich. Owning a business is a good thing. Usually. Again, like I said, I got obsessed. I got crazy. I took a 3-month-long break from any business, anything. I handed over the reign of the company to my CFO, and yeah, I'm back. Amped Up's back. Amped Up was a thing. It was still a thing. It never went away. How do I draw this? If I'm drawing a boat, Amped Up is the boat, right? This is a metaphor here. This is the boat. While I was gone, relaxing, restoring my mental health, we had our fellas manning it, making sure it didn't sink. However, they weren't actually doing things to grow the boat and to push it forward. As soon as I came back, I added a propeller. Because that's the thing about founders and people like that. You know, you can keep the boat floating. You could spend so much time making sure the boat stays afloat, making sure your business does not go bankrupt. You know, there's so many meaningless tasks that you could do at a business that have no significance. There's always something to be done in business. However, instead of focusing on those, I like to focus on what moves the boat forward, what pushes us to grow. Because honestly, you either grow or you die. It's true. And that's all I have to say. The LLC, the way I got the LLC is we actually get LLC through LegalZoom. So you can go to LegalZoom.com. And what else? We use Site 123 to create our website, to make our website. However, what we could also use, another big one is Wix. We used to go on Wix, but then we transferred to Site 123 because the prices were lower. We might transfer back to Wix, depending on if demand increases and we need to start doing more stuff. Because the good thing about Wix is it's all built in, everything you need to own a business is in Wix. With Site 123, we kind of have to outsource that. So Site 123, here's the business model. We have Site 123. Actually, we'll just write website. Website. My foot is so asleep right now. Ow, my foot's like. Anyways, we have the website. Can you see this? I need to draw it in black. Bro! Okay. Website. So, this is our website. And then for online payments, we go to Square through the website. And we have affiliates that come into the website. And the affiliates, they bring, I'll draw the arrows. Yeah, so the arrows represent the flow of money. So website, people go to Square, which goes to me, and amped. Affiliates go to me, but they find us from the website. People go from social media, the TikTok shop, straight to amped, or they go from social media to the website to one of these avenues, or they go straight from themselves to me if I find them at the gym and say, hey, what pre-workout do you use? Or approach them. Anyways, that's it. What do we hope to do in the future? Amped Up is probably going to find an Amazon. We're doing protein. We're doing all sorts of things. We're hoping to make more content like this, probably better. Ow, okay, I'm going to stop complaining about my foot, but I will say that, what was I going to say? Focus, determination, time, obsession. If you want it, you can get it, I think. Just, I don't know, read. The amount of knowledge I've gained from reading some business books, you gotta just get into that kind of place. What you consume leads to stuff. Oh, I also want to show off this printer. So this is our printer. It's called the Brother Cull Aura. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm like limping right now because my foot's asleep. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Ow. Sorry. Yeah.